I had no idea the British press was so bigoted.
This one's wife. Why does she keep doing this? Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. My work enables you to make sense of why this one's wife behaves as she does, because she's a narcissist. She's not a psychopath. She's simply a narcissist, although that brings with it plenty of complications. Years ago, I was the first to identify her as such, and I explained in detail why she is. My initial observation and assessment has not only been proven to be accurate, but it has ended up being repeated by many people who've now realized what she is. Her behaviors have demonstrated her narcissism time and time again. Yet, notwithstanding the fact that her behavior is explained by her narcissism, there are still lots of people who are left scratching their heads and wondering, why did she do this? Why did she do that? One sees it regularly below the line in a particular forum where people are puzzled. They try to get their head around why she has behaved in the manner that she has. One aspect of her behaviour, which people partially get right or sometimes get completely wrong, relates to this. What do all of these things have in common? Being a member of the royal family for a very short period of time and only engaging in a few engagements before departing. Apparently having a career as an author, but only writing one book, which was only 40 pages long. Being a content creator, but only managing one series of archetypes, which was where many other people actually did the interviewing. Creating nothing so far for Lemonada, that Meet Me at the Lake has sat there waiting to be developed. That other content has singularly failed to appear, resulting in the accusation of being a fucking grifter. The 40 by 40 initiative disappeared without a trace. Marching on Washington with Gloria Steinem didn't happen. Having lunch with female senators after cold calling them didn't happen. Pushing parental leave didn't happen. Formulating political aspirations into something meaningful hasn't happened. And perhaps the biggest example of it all, the clusterfuck catastrophe that is American Riviera Orchard. What have all of those things got in common? Yes, you're absolutely right. This one's wife, the bananatarian, the Duchess of Industrial Beige, a woman who regularly starts things and fails to finish them. Why? Is it the case that she's like a Labrador, whereby she's gallivanting through the garden chasing a bee, but oh look, a butterfly, and she runs after that instead? Well, to an extent, that is applicable. Is it the case that she just can't be asked because there's rage scrolling to be done and ill-fitting clothing to put on and expensive jewellery to flaunt? Well, that's also part of the issue. But it won't be a surprise for you to learn that this behaviour is driven by her narcissism. The fact is, her narcissism operates on an economy setting, like any narcissist does. But with a lesser or mid-range narcissist, they are far more likely to not follow things through, to abort things partway through, or even just mention them and then do nothing about it, for this reason. You should know by now, as regular followers of my work, that when the narcissist has an interaction with another human being or a potential interaction with another human being, the narcissism is geared to pursue the prime aims, and that's it. To either control that person, likely to control them and draw fuel, possibly get character traits and residual benefits on top. That's what it's about, nothing else. Accordingly, for this one's wife, her narcissism causes her to embark upon schemes and initiatives and projects which involve other people. Why? to get to the prime aims. It causes her to become a member of the royal family to go out on engagements so that she can then control people through that, to draw fuel by way of people's responses to her being a member of the royal family, to enable her to manage her facade as being the caring royal, the modern royal, and to gain residual benefits, for instance, such as access to privilege and money. It causes her to make a big song and dance about the 40 by 40 initiative so that she can character trait acquire from Miss McCarthy, to enable her to triangulate Harry with the whole thing by having him juggle his balls outside of the window, to assert control over as many people in the world as possible by saying, look at me doing something good, to draw fuel from them by way of their responses to say, huzzah, huzzah, well done, and of course to again manage the facade. Look at me, I'm kind, I'm caring, I'm doing this initiative. She talks about having lunch with the senators to assert control over people, to draw a response from them by way of fuel, to manage her facade of being a kind person but also a serious political animal. But in each of these instances, you've had her talk about something she's going to do and it doesn't happen, or start the initial stages of doing something, often cack-handed and half-cocked, and it doesn't go anywhere. Witness American Riviera Orchard retirement homes. And this is because the narcissism is able to get to the prime aims with the half-inched stuff and doesn't need to go any further. If, by putting out a video of her swanning around like an extra from The Ring and creating a landing page for American Riviera Orchard, causes people to respond to it, the narcissism has done its job. By making it known through the press that she's embarking on a 45-40 initiative, or that she's marching on Washington with Gloria Steinem, or that she's pushing for parental leave by publishing the letters, people respond to it. Those that do so favourably demonstrate they're under control. Fuel is provided, both favourably and unfavourably, and it goes towards her facade as painting her as this caring, empathic, motivated individual. Accordingly, the narcissism then thinks to itself, don't need to do anything else in this moment. It's enough. And thus, it created sufficient buzz, if you will, to cater to the prime aims, and then she moves on to something else instead. And thus, this is the case with this one's wife. Because she operates moment by moment, and because she has no sense of accountability, i.e. no sense of obligation to complete things, because she has no sense of doing the right thing, because she has a sense of entitlement to do whatever she pleases, because she has no emotional empathy for the people that she affects with her failure to deliver, her narcissism simply adopts this approach. We need to get the prime aims, therefore the bare minimum can be done. Has it got the prime aims in this moment? Yes, it has. Right, we don't need to follow up on it. Factor in also that she's easily distracted. Factor in also the fact that she's lazy. And factor in also that invariably what then happens is that what she launches faces criticism thereafter as a collateral consequence. So her narcissism basically says, well, there's no point really doing that now because so many people are against it. Let's go and find something else instead to do. And thus, it's a combination of all of these factors, which means this is why she keeps doing this. This is why she starts something and doesn't follow it through, why she talks about something and doesn't complete it. Because her narcissism is able to get what it needs in the moment, so there's no need to follow up on it. And when it gets to the next moment, continuing whatever she started is too difficult because of the criticism and hostility that she faces as a consequence of her unpopularity. And thus, once again, her narcissism explains why she engages in this behaviour. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.